week's episode of One Piece is the perfect example of why Luffy is one of the most well-known, heroic, selfless, and inspirational main anime characters of all time. This week's episode of One Piece really hit me at my heartstring because pretty much all of the Straw Hat Pirates and all of the pirates and fighters from Kurita Coliseum are desperately trying to escape from the island of Dressrosa because the Marines are closing in because they want to capture them. But Luffy, before he leaves the island, still has one more important mission, and that's not only meeting with Rebecca one last time, but actually getting her to reunite with her father, Kyros. It's really touching how he goes out of his way to do that, and he even has to fight against a lot of different Marines. So we're going to see a lot of classic techniques from this episode: giant pistols, Gatling guns, and even the return of the Gomu Gomu no Hanabi. Yes, he gets to use that against a group of Marines when he goes to the flower field, which was a pretty awesome scene, probably my favorite one from this episode. But what's really cool about this week's episode is that if you had a favorite character from the Dressrosa arc, whether it be just a pirate or a fighter from Kurita Coliseum, you're going to get to see them in this week's episode, and they're going to be awesome. Hell, I even instantly recognized Abdullah and Jeet when they were talking through the snail phones. That's how distinctive those characters are, and it made me reflect a little bit on the Dressrosa arc about all of the amazing characters who made appearances, and we got to see them all do cool stuff. One of my favorites was from Baby 5 when she transformed her arm into a giant RPG-looking weapon. Pretty damn slick. She still has one of the coolest powers that I've seen from the Dressrosa arc. Not to mention we get a lot of classic moments: Usopp shitting his pants, Bartolomeo being completely enamored with him, and being extremely helpful by putting up his barriers, which was great when all the Marines were firing at them from all directions. I really like that Bartolomeo even loved when Zoro was getting lost. He loves every single perfection and imperfection about the Straw Hat Pirates, and that just makes him such a great fanboy-like character. And then we have the most important stuff about this week's episode, which is Bastille! Yeah, Bastille's back after having his head crushed by Sabo. He doesn't really do much this episode aside from get really angry. I do love the fact that he still tends to end his sentences with Dara. I particularly love when he got pissed this week. Damn it, Dara! The main attraction in this week's episode of One Piece, though, is when Luffy confronts Rebecca, literally jumping right up to her window and getting right up in her grill, basically letting her know, are you okay with the decision you made about Kyros? I mean, you're never going to see him again. This is your chance to actually have a real family with him, and I can bring you to him. So Luffy just busts through the window, grabs Rebecca, and they are running across the Dressrosa Kingdom, which is definitely going to lead to a heartfelt reunion with a lot of tears. And frankly, I can't wait to see how they're going to resolve that in the next episode. And there are going to be a few more twists and turns in the next couple ones, so we'll definitely need to make sure to check those out. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of One Piece? That's right, Luffy is the star this week. Makes sense, he's the main character, but it's amazing how much he has actually done for the Dressrosa Kingdom, how much he's actually sacrificed. After defeating Doflamingo and being wanted by the Marines, he still goes out of his way to help out Rebecca because he simply just wants to help her out because that is the right thing to do. That is what is so damn awesome about Luffy. He might be kind of dense at times and overly goofy. Hell, for most of this episode, he's just eating meat on a bone. Even when he's running away from the Marines. I thought it was funny that he actually ate the bone as well, but that scene was crucial because he finally finished his awesome snack and decided to go after Rebecca, which featured a lot of great classic action scenes. Nothing too crazily animated, but it was definitely fast and a lot of impact behind it. And it was just great to see all those other characters return, but it was the moment where he confronted Rebecca, which I really loved the most, especially how he really brought out Rebecca's emotions. And obviously he had a secret message that he had to give Viola as well that's going to be revealed, and even frickin' Riku is just freaking out over what's actually going on right now, and all the other citizens of Dressrosa are already pulling out their damn torches and pitchforks going after Luffy. And I just can't wait to see how this reunion is going to wrap up in the next episode, and all the other cool fights which are actually getting ready to happen. It's going to be awesome. So this was a pretty good episode of One Piece. You know, it really depends on how much you really like the characters from Dressrosa, but like I said, this is a good reflective episode, and there was at least a lot of action and a lot of different things going on, and we got to see all of the characters together. Usopp is always a really funny character, just his reactions to everything going on, because that's just the thing he always does. Every character has kind of a cool moment in this episode. So this one was pretty good in my opinion. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I nearly gave it a 3, but honestly I did like all of the emotional moments with with Rebecca and Luffy. Like I said, it just made me think about all of the other great moments from this arc, which, despite the fact that it was long-winded, I'm always going to remember it, and there's a lot of parts about it that I really do enjoy. So, yep, that's my score this week. Make sure to check out this week's episode of One Piece, but if you did, make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below. Did you have a favorite character cameo from this week's episode? Maybe a favorite moment? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Why don't you tell me in the comment section below? You guys are kick-ass. Thank you for watching this review. I really appreciate it. How about you smash that like button? Maybe subscribe to the channel. That way you can see all of our latest anime and manga reviews as they are released. That's right. Make sure to check out all the other cool links in the description box below. Thank you guys again for watching. And as always, stay dandy, baby.